She's also attending right now the College of Metaphysical Studies to get her doctorate in divinity, which would be metaphysical. So I'm really excited. I'm excited that she's come to work our church. I'm excited that she has a beautiful gift of healing. I'm excited for her beautiful gift of aura reading and all of her beautiful mediumship and sharing her gifts with us. So, that given, please give her another very warm welcome, Reverend Susan Sabella.
Thank you, Reverend Bertoli.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the title of my sermon today is Shift Happens, that's S-H-I-F-T, happens, change your thoughts to change your life. And I just wanted to ask by a show of hands, how many people here would like to change their life for the better? Good. I'm going to try my best to help you with that today. I'm very passionate about this subject, and you'll see why when you hear my story. I'm sure you all know about the law of attraction, also known as the secret. I'm going to get into other ways to attract all the good stuff life has to offer. I'd like to go through some key points as well and show a small graph of the human vibratory field, and finally give you a demonstration of how to release negative emotions in seconds to help bring about the positive shift we need for our well-being. I also have 3 personal, and I promise, 3 brief stories. The first one will be about how my former bad outlook on life affected my environment and the aha moment when I realized what I had done. The second and third stories are about how the positive outlook I have now affects my livelihood in a great way. The first thing we need to do is to get out of our own way. And to do this, we do this by not sabotaging ourselves with negative self-talk or self-imposed limitations. I'll give you an example of the bad attitude I used to have. About 6 years ago, I had worked as a clerk selling stamps at the Postal Service. I was always a happy-go-lucky person, but had a lot of pessimism and self-doubt about myself and my abilities. I was also very angry at the way women were treated by management, as they were seriously being oppressed, and I stood up for myself and other women, causing me to get written up and in a lot of trouble, which I didn't mind at the time. So you can just imagine my mindset back then. One day I really set the tone for negativity. I drove up to that big, menacing brick building of a post office that I worked at and felt a pinch in my stomach as I looked at it. The first thing I did when I got into work was complain to John, my coworker at the time, who always seemed to be happy almost to the brink of insanity. John was also a part-time DJ and made the post office a happy place by having his boombox of disco classics and Michael Jackson tunes going to get the customers and us clerks into a better mood. John, a Michael Jackson fanatic, would put on a sequin glove, just like Michael did, and also wore a ruby red sequin vest. Gotta picture this. And would even dance in the occasional moonwalk to make people laugh. John would always have the praise of customers and management alike, and it was well-deserved. He was what we called the go-to guy. He was very knowledgeable and most of all had an attitude of gratitude and joy always, and won numerous awards, and always seemed to be in life's flow and very blessed. I love that about him. But I couldn't help but wonder, what am I doing wrong here? And could you please give me some of that attitude? I need that great attitude you have. Working at the post office seemed very oppressive to me, and I didn't understand why the negativity was being directed at me. I said, "Oh, hey John, I already know what's in store for me today. I bet you anything I will get pulled into the office and get written up for something I did on the register." John looked at me disapprovingly and shook his head. He said to me, "You call the shots, kid." Sure enough, not even 10 minutes later, I got called into the office, as I did make a mistake on the register by putting the wrong code in, and got written up for it too. I called that to myself. When John heard of this, he pulled me aside and said to me, "You called this to yourself." I said, "How so, and why would I do that to myself?" John said, "Because you set the tone for the day by what you said to me earlier. Haven't you heard of the law of attraction?" I said, "No, never heard of it." John then said, "What you think, you attract. The earth has a magnetic field, and so do we, called the human aura. What we think, feel, and do attracts the very same thing to us." That was my introduction to the law of attraction, my aha moment that woke me up to change my thoughts, feelings, and actions. This was real, kind of cool, and kind of scary at the same time. It's 6 years later, and I recently got the chance to implement what I had learned from John. I had seen that Poetry.com was having a contest, and as a poet, I had seen this as a great opportunity. But then I heard the negative chatter in my mind. You know, the kind that holds you back if you let it. Do you really think you stand a chance of winning with all those thousands of people competing? That's one of the voices. And my all-time favorite, oh, it's probably a scam. This time I did something other than give into and believe these negative thoughts. All of a sudden, I had a positive shift. You know that song Perfect by Pink? There's a favorite line from that song that just popped into my head, and I'll sing it for you. You're so mean when you talk about yourself. You are wrong. Change the voices in your head. Make them like you instead. I heard that, and I thank you. I then replied to myself, downing voices and all, and I said, you know what? I'm a child of God. That's who I know I am, and I can do anything. But sure enough, I entered that Poetry.com contest, and I'm very happy to say that I am now a semi-finalist, and I'm getting my winning poem published in Poetry.com's Stars in Their Hearts book. Thank you. See, there's a simple shift in thinking. It makes a very big difference. I could have held myself back and listened to those voices. Now I'll read you that poem. It's called The Sea of Life, and it goes like this. Whether you go with the flow or swim against the tide, you need to enjoy the ride. Calm waters or stormy seas, keep your head above the water, please. The sea of life is never the same. The waters never stay tame. You're gonna swim or you're gonna sink. A positive mindset is what you'll need to think. Drowning in sorrows will only drag you down to the depths of your soul, make you lose control and hit bottom. It's called Maya, or dark night of the soul. Dragging you to the deepest depths of your soul, positive thoughts, words, and deeds will get you back in control. So that was my first little lesson. And the second thing that I would suggest to do to get into a positive mindset is to let go of past hurts. You know, it just might save your life. It saved mine, and I'll explain. When we hold on to emotional baggage, we hold it in our bodies, and it turns into disease, as in my case. I was holding on to a lot of negative emotions from bad memories since childhood, and this was stored in my body as asthma, prediabetes, fatty liver, underactive thyroid, relapse-remitting multiple sclerosis, and ultimately uterine cancer that would have killed me within 9 months. I sure was carrying a lot of baggage in my body. According to Louise Hayes, you can heal your life. Uterine cancer and fatty liver are both anger diseases, and boy, I sure had a lot of it. And I was still brimming with anger issues that I didn't even know was still lingering in my body. When I told my metaphysical friends about this cancer diagnosis and expiration date of 9 months, they told me about a world-renowned energy healer named Star Fuentes, who made a cancer healing meditation CD in which she takes you on a guided forgiveness meditation to heal the source of cancer, anger. The name of the CD is Guided Meditation CD, Releasing the Energies of Cancer. I did these meditations as recommended for 28 days straight, once a day, 28 days straight. I had a biopsy of the tumor before my hysterectomy, and it showed I only had 9 months to live. After my hysterectomy was done, another biopsy was performed, and the tumor was deemed only precancerous. My doctor was dumbfounded and could not believe the results. I told him to tell all of his patients about Star Fuentes and her miraculous cancer healing CD. Needless to say, I am in full remission and never needed chemotherapy. And I'm very much alive in every sense of the word, thanks to this awareness of how holding on to negative emotions can affect your body. Thank you. So it's mind over matter, you know, like the old saying says. You know, I do wish I could say the same for my cousin Marianne. She died this past February, 2000, of lung cancer. I told her of this experience I had, and she was very open to it. I sent her the Meditation to Heal Cancer CD and You Can Heal Your Life DVD documentary movie. She was now aware, but still had a lot of doubt this would help. The 5-month life expectancy, or expiration date, as I call, that was given to Marianne from her doctor didn't help her heal. It only put more fear into her. I also gave her a poem I wrote when I got my death sentence. I titled this poem, No Expiration Date on Me. I dedicate this to you, Marianne. Life expectancy cut short from my doctor's medical report. I wore my heart on my sleeve, didn't want to believe. Time was running out on me. I knew there was a better way to extend my life to another day. I learned to feel my emotions and let them go. Holding on to things that don't serve you is grow. As cancer and other diseases, it runs rampant inside you and does what it pleases. Break down your wall of pain. It only brings you hurt and shame. Unless you learn how to feel and release, your life will cease. From all the negativity dwelling inside, you need to let go of your pride. For you see, there's no expiration date stamped on you and me. Release your past and be free. This past week I had a dream of Marianne. She looked beautiful, healthy, and whole. She told me to tell her family hello and that she is all right. I did just that. I sent an email to both my cousins, Rosie and Vinny, her brother and sister, as soon as I woke up from that dream. Sure enough, I got an email back from Rosie saying she misses Marianne so much that the day before, just the day before, she had asked Marianne to give her a sign that she was all right. Sure enough, Rosie got her sign in the form of Marianne in my dream. Just like comedian Bill Engvall says, there's your sign. I felt blessed and honored to give that message. Love transcends and heals beyond our body's physical death. Our spirit never dies. Mind over matter. While we're here on this earth, we need to take care of our bodies, and one very important way of doing that is releasing the stored negative emotions in our bodies by doing this technique to release them. So I'm just going to give you a little exercise, just kind of loosen up where you are, just be comfortable. And I'm just going to need you all to just close your eyes, tilt your head down, make sure your chin touches your chest, and breathe in through your nose. Now you're either going to feel tightness or clenching in your chest or in your belly or possibly both. What you're going to need to do at this point is visualize a chimney flue coming out either your chest or your stomach or both, and just exhale black smoke. Anytime you're feeling funky, you're feeling like you're holding stuff inside, that's what you need to do. This is what's going to release all those emotions that are holding you back. These are the emotions. Yes, Mike? Can you repeat that again? Oh, sure. I'm going to repeat that. What we're going to need to do is just relax, like we're meditating. Make sure your arms and legs are not crossed. And tilt your head down to your chest, like make sure your chin's touching your chest. Breathe in through your nose, and at this point you should feel a clenching either in your chest, your belly, or both. Picture like a chimney flue or a cylinder. It might be easier for some people to visualize a cylinder coming out of the areas that are clenching and pinching. And just exhale all that black negative energy that's in your body, that's clogging up your chakras. Now I'm sure all of you have heard of chakras, right? Yeah. So this is going to help unclear them. Okay, so how are you all feeling? Did anybody feel clenching or pinching when you did that? Yeah. That's stuff that's being held in your body that you have to release. So good, I'm proud of you guys. So now, I am going to read off 2 more things on my keynotes. And like I said, you have to let go of past hurts and live in the present moment. But very important, our thoughts, words, and deeds attract people and situations to us that mirror them, so be careful. Like John was telling me years ago, that we have a magnetic field around us. It's our auric field, our psychic shield, and the earth has a magnetic field. And what we think, speak, our words and our actions and our thoughts have a lot to do with how people are going to receive us. The world is like a big mirror to us, so we have to be careful about our thoughts, speech, and actions. And very important, having an attitude of gratitude. This is guaranteed to bring you happiness even if things aren't going your way. You know, I find this in most cases. You know, I say, you know, there's always a reason why something happens. But there's something I definitely want to do. I would like to tell you to keep a journal. Write down what you're grateful for. You know, it could be one thing, could be 10 things, could be 50 things, whatever you feel like doing. Or you can just log on to www.gratitudelog.com and just, you know, write down, you know, what you're grateful for. I mean, type down what you're grateful for. And, you know, you can even send appreciation notes to people. It's a really nice way to bring that good energy to you. So I do want to read off about David R. Hawkins. He's a physiologist and a kinesiologist. And he came out with a scale of consciousness. If you want, come and see me to see this scale of consciousness. I'll just show you briefly. You know, it's a rainbow-colored scale, and it shows that there's different levels that our emotions take. Like shame is like a number 20, when we really should be vibrating at a 500. When you reach enlightenment, you vibrate at 700. But, you know, at least, you know, if you vibrate at 500, what that's going to do is going to help 750,000 other people vibrate at the same. This planet needs it right now, especially with the shift happening that everybody's talking about in 2012, which will be fine, by the way. You know, it's just a shift in consciousness, a shift in, you know, the planetary's field, the Earth's field, just like our own auric field. So it's very, very important to watch what we think and say and do. And Dr. David R. Hawkins came out with Power versus Force, the Hidden Determinants of Human Behavior. Like that scale of consciousness I showed you, imagine you have a scale of 1 to 1,000, with 1,000 being the highest state a person can attain. At this level, you would be at the pinnacle of fulfillment, happiness, and enlightenment. At the lowest end of the spectrum is a person who is utterly destitute and depressed. To determine where a person lies on this scale, Dr. Hawkins would put them through a series of kinesiology and muscle tests. As you can see on the scale that I showed you, negative emotions like fear, anger, or shame vibrate at low frequencies, while feelings like love, joy, and peace vibrate at high uplifting frequencies. Through his study on human consciousness, Dr. Hawkins estimated that the average person vibrates at only a level of 207. We need to vibrate at 500. You know, by looking at the scale, the level we should aim is for 500 and above. And when you vibrate at this level, life becomes drastically different. Love, joy, abundance are suddenly within your reach. Pain, stress, and struggle seem to melt away, and you become a magnet for what you truly desire. Interestingly, Dr. Hawkins has found that your energetic vibration doesn't just affect you, it affects those around you. In fact, he theorizes that just one person, like I said before, operating at a level of 500 can lift 750,000 people above 200. The conclusion? Everyone looking for a happier, more successful, and more enlightened life should aim to overcome their energy blockages and raise their energetic frequency to a level of love or above. A hypothesis that many other reputable scientists have since come to support. So can you imagine how even more incredible life would be if a person had their vibrations on 500, or, you know, love, or what they call love or above? It all begins with each and every one of us. I'm going to quote Mahatma Gandhi, my favorite quote. "Be the change you wish to seek in the world." By taking responsibility for your energy and frequencies, you're going to do just that. You're not only going to help yourself, you're going to help other people and the planet. Change your thoughts to change your life. Thank you for listening, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Susan. That was beautiful. You know, I like to think that when we gather together in the church, that we are raising that vibration to that 500 level. I think that's what we talk about when we when we come in here and then we leave and then we recharge again, right? So thank you so much. Because I think people can go up and down that scale.
They do. They can fluctuate. They just have to keep being grateful and just keep vibrating. You know, doing that exercise that I just showed you guys. That's going to help a whole lot.
Because I can even feel sometimes like myself going down, and then if you don't have those tools ready and you're ready to grab, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like some people, like if they were raised Catholic, might at that point grab a prayer.
Right.
And grab that prayer and help that vibration go up. So thank you so much. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it.